Members of the company, this is your Places call. Places, please. Places for the top of the podcast. Places, please.
Get ready for a behind-the-scenes look at the glitz and not-so-glam of Broadway, education, and everyday life with Uncommon Sense. Join hosts Christopher Smith and Sharna Lopez as they bring you the best stories and shenanigans that seemingly prove how elusive common sense can really be. So take a little time for yourself to hang out with the dynamic duo Charnopher. And no leaving early, because you might just miss that 11 o'clock number.
Stand by music. Music, go.
Uncommon sense, the 11 o'clock
number. And we are Charnopher.
Hello and welcome.
On air.
I need that little sign. Except that time I was really good. I wasn't talking when you did 3, 2, 1. I was paying attention.
Yeah.
For those of you not
That's
watching, good. I'm sporting a beanie today, which is not my usual.
It's super cute.
I got on and Christopher was like, "Oh my God, you're so cute!" But it's my Brian head beanie, and I like it because, man, it is raining out there today, Christopher.
Yeah.
It is a storm.
Which is so funny because a storm. Actually, before we get into that, I'm realizing at this very moment that I have a Charna mug.
What is wrong with people? I need to write the mug person at the mug store. Do not make all left-handed mugs. Again, I really think that it's because they want you to see it, right? So when you're drinking, but make it double-sided.
Yes. Correct.
I am never going to unsee the double-sided mug moment. Come on, guys. Get it together.
Yeah. Well, it's like if there's a heart on one side, why can't you put a heart on the other side too?
Yeah. So all people are involved
to send
in
love
the mug
out
situation.
into the world.
I mean,
the mug people are selfish. They're like, I just want the heart for myself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're putting something very personal on there, it's just for you. Fine. But share the love. Agreed.
Seriously, literally.
Well, I didn't have a mug today, so we're okay. I brought my beanie.
I always have a mug. Yes, but it's so great. I love the beanie. All right. So rain in Southern California is sort of a rarity, right? It's not like other parts of the world where it rains, 3/5 of the year. And I think that
3/5 was a really funny number, by the way. I'm just going to interrupt you. 3/5? I don't even think I've ever used 3/5 ever in a sentence, in a math problem. 3/5? Why is that your number? 3/4 of the year?
It just happened.
3/4 of the year.
No, I know, but 3/5.
22 95ths of the year. Some places it rains. Oh my gosh, Christopher, 3/5. That's so funny to me. Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry. Carry on.
Oh gosh.
In some places it rains 3/5 of the year.
Yes, 3/5 of the year. Here in Southern California, it does not. And I feel that when moisture exits the heavens, there is something that comes with the moisture that is some sort of blend of insanity gas with stupidity.
Correct.
It's what's happening? Did your IQ automatically lower 500 points?
I feel like the rain should be our theme, because it's very indicative of people using uncommon sense around here. Come on, guys, what's happening? I don't, and it's not even just driving, because I know we've commented on driving in the rain, but it's just existing in the rain is difficult in Southern California.
Yeah. It's so bizarre.
I know. I think one that really cracks me up is when it's right now, we are actually this is a storm. This is more rain than we normally get ever. But I'm going to even go back to when it just like drizzles. Okay. So like we see in our weather app, like drizzle is coming, light rain forecasted.
Right.
You would think that a tsunami is coming. People are like in their galoshes and their rain gear and they have an umbrella. I'm like, you guys, it's just a mist. It's like they gear up for like this torrential weather. And I'm like, you just got like a spa moment, you know, like a mist.
Yeah.
And it starts from there. And then it's all downhill from there. Because then it starts to rain more.
Absolutely.
It's the worst. It's the worst. I mean, okay, there's some things we could talk about driving in the rain, and there's some things that I sort of understand. I mean, we could start with driving. Let's start there. I know we've talked about this before. Should you go 90 in the crazy rain on the freeway? My vote is no.
Absolutely not.
Should you go 15 miles per hour? Absolutely not. Those are the ones that kill me.
I was thinking that you were going to say yes, but no. I know, I'm kidding. But because we're the same person, it's like, just be intelligent. Just be like, hey, it's raining. Maybe slow down a little bit. Make sure you leave extra distance between you and the car in front of you. And that's the other thing, is everyone might drive 15 miles an hour, but they still go like super close to each other. And I'm like, what?
I know.
What?
I know. And for me, it's the visibility. So
public service announcement. Yeah.
Even driving into work yesterday, the visibility, I mean, it was bad on the freeway. Like I almost made a decision, maybe I'm going to get off and take side streets because, you know, all that spray that comes up and then you can't see. And I get it. And some people just aren't smart. The other thing is the lights. So now newer cars are equipped where the lights automatically turn on when your windshield wipers are on, but some older cars are not. And I cannot stand when it's like that and the visibility on the freeway, it's almost like a fog and people don't have their lights on. I mean, I knew that when I was 16, y'all, like when you learn to drive, turn your lights on when it's raining, when the windshield wipers are on. Why is that hard for people?
Because here's the thing, Charna, you said something very important. You said when you learned to drive. And here's the thing. I think that certain people did not actually learn how to drive. They just are driving.
They never learned. That's actually a really good point. Yeah, and I think too, it's like California though is on the struggle bus a little bit because we don't get this kind of rain often. So when we do, it's the flooding is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like we've had 2 days currently of really strong. I love the rain. So I'm like, yes, we need the rain.
Same.
It's so important and it just revitalizes everything. But like Southern California, get your ish together, man. We've had less than 48 hours of rain and we're having flash floods. Like I'm not sure, you know, and again, I don't know if there is a solve. It's not like all of a sudden California, you know, government's going to be like, let's fix the state. But I don't understand it. And even around our school, the flooding around our school just to cross the crosswalk is insane. It's crazy.
You need an actual boat. You need like a little rowboat to get across the crosswalk.
There was one year, I may have already told this story, so stop me if I did, but years ago at OSHA, because the student that I'm going to talk about is now a teacher at OSHA, but it was when I was teaching in the electives program. Did I tell you the story already where I got stuck?
I don't know if you did.
So at our school, you park across the street and then you have to walk across a crosswalk on either side of our campus. And I was trying to get there midday, and my student, his name's Topher, he was standing in front of the building that I taught in, and he could see me across the street at the light.
Everybody knows Topher.
Topher.
Because he was on the podcast.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, Topher. So now you can, well, that like was sort of a screechy scream. Apologies. Anyway, he's watching me, and I'm like, I can't, if I step down into the street, I mean, the water would have gone up like almost to my calves.
Oh.
So I'm trying to like, and I had rain boots on, but you know, so I'm trying to like maneuver and I'm like looking at if there's a spot and I'm like waving to Topher and he was kind of just like, I don't know how to help you. Oh. So finally the security guard came over in his little golf cart and took me across in his golf cart. I couldn't, I mean, unless I was ready to jump in and just like swim the crosswalk because it was so flooded. And that was my thought. I'm like, this is not that much rain, guys. Like, it's a lot for Southern California, I guess. But I think people start to act stupid because their surroundings are falling apart around them. You know, like it's flooded. You can't get into your car or whatever.
They're like, ah!
Yeah. So then it's like, emergency.
Oh my gosh. It's like that scene from Bug's Life where I think it's a stick or a leaf or something falls in the path of the ants and they just go, bah! I'm lost! And I'm like, just go around. Just go around.
It's so true. It's so true. And this morning I went to the grocery store and it was raining. And I actually sat in my car for a minute watching people get in and out of their cars and into the grocery store. And I was cracking up. The struggle bus that these people are on. Like, you guys, it's literally like 25 yards from the car to the store. So either commit to the fact that you do not have an umbrella and just walk in.
Right.
Or
Go.
get your umbrella situated, right? And get in. But these people, they're like covering they're trying to get their jacket on. I'm like, just go into the store. And then they get in there and it's like their lives have been ruined. You know, they're like, oh, I'm so wet. And I'm like, it's water. Like, if you really didn't want to get that wet, maybe you shouldn't have gone to the grocery store in the rain. Like, choose a different day.
Right.
Oh, man.
Well, that's one of the things I thought about was if you can't function, just stay home. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
Just stay home.
And now I will say, and I have talked about this before, I think in terms of snow and cold, especially New York City, I dislike with a passion having 19 things. Like I have a sweater and then I have a jacket, but then I have my raincoat and then I have a scarf and then I have an umbrella and then I have my hat and my gloves. I am like, get me out of this situation immediately. I get it because then you walk into a building and you're like, I got to take off my scarf and my jacket and my gloves and my hat. It makes me batty. I don't know how people do it in like places where it snows. And when you have children, are you kidding me? My kids would have frostbite. I'd be like, I don't care. I don't care. Like I see it. I'm like, I can't even do it for myself, let alone small humans. Like, can you imagine getting kids ready to go to school in the snow? Absolutely not.
I know.
I quit the play. No.
Well, you know, I'll be the voice of reason here. Like anything else, you would get used to it.
Would I though?
Like,
I think
you
would. Maybe.
I think, but here's the thing. I do think you would, but here's the thing. I'm not sure that everybody would still be alive by the time you got used to it.
We've lost one. Charna made it and she got used to it, but we lost one along the way. Oh man. I think you're right though, that I guess you acclimate to it and it just becomes like the new normal. But yeah, I don't, I don't know how your kids are in the rain. My kids don't care. I just dropped them both off at school and Sebastian didn't even take an umbrella. He's just like, okay, cool. Like I'm going to go in. He didn't care. He's like, I'm going to get wet.
My kids are an interesting mixture because I think they don't actually care other than when they get really wet and cold.
Oh, yeah.
They actually love going out in the rain. But sometimes Grayson's like, I need my umbrella. I need my rain jacket and I need my rain boots. He just needs all his things. And Amelia follows suit.
I mean, it is kind of like
they love going out in the rain.
Fun little outfit. Yeah. I don't mind being in the rain.
Yeah.
Then again, I just had all of these experiences just this morning. But then you have the people who are the opposite of the like Southern California can't function in the rain. I saw 3 people this morning in the torrential downpour out jogging. I was like, that's legit jogging. Like the street by my house that I drive in the morning, it's like a good 6-mile hilly run. And I about rolled down my window to be like, let's go. You're on mile 3. Like they needed some cheering or something. They're in like complete rain, just like running like maniacs.
What were they wearing?
Shorts and a shirt.
Okay.
Committing.
Right.
Now, I guess I will say it's not that cold, right? It was like the 50s this morning. So it's not, if you're running in the 50s, that's actually like the best weather. If it was any colder and raining, I could think like you're special. Don't make that choice. But man, that's commitment. I look at the rain and I won't even walk my dog. He's like, I will not go outside. He's so funny.
Bye.
I open the door for him to go out. He takes one step out and then he immediately goes back in. He does not want to go outside in the rain.
Absolutely
He's
not.
like, I'm sorry, what is this? And I don't think it's it falling on his back. I think it's his feet. Like he doesn't like his paws being in the water. So then we got to walk him out. Like we're walking him on a leash to be like, let's go to the bathroom. He's a Southern California dog, clearly.
Yep. 100%.
Oh, Winston.
I know, Winston. So I was driving to work yesterday and I had this observation that I still not quite sure what it was. So normally there's tons of traffic at the time I'm leaving, so it takes me forever to do anything. But yesterday in the rain there was not, and I was like, okay, so here's my thought. Many people stayed home, which is great. That means you're not in my way. But also, how many of those people then don't need to be on the road on a regular basis?
Yes.
I'm like, why are you in my way?
Yes.
What?
Now, did you see the signs? Were they down in South County too on the freeways that was like heavy storm or heavy rain, avoid travel Sunday through Tuesday? I wonder, I see that and I'm like, thanks, I'm going to do what I want. I think maybe there are some people though that take it very seriously. You know what I mean? And they're like, ooh, I'm going to stay home. But also, how could they stay home? You're absolutely right. Could they stay home on a normal day and get out of your way?
I'm like, did people just not go to work? I guess that could be a thing. But really, my first thought was, I'm like, how many of you people are just doing things in the middle of the day that you could not be doing in the middle of the day when I'm trying to drive?
Yes, it's true. I thought it was interesting. So yesterday, the Cal State's canceled class.
Really?
Yeah. So I have a teacher who teaches for me, who also teaches for Cal State Fullerton. And she texted me, she said, hey, is school still on? Because they canceled classes at all the Cal States. Now, I don't know if they did that because there's certain ones up north that are actually really impacted. Like some of the flooding up north seems to be pretty bad. So,
well, in LA is a disaster.
So I'm wondering if maybe like instead of just Cal State Fullerton, it was like the Cal States across the board. We're just like, we're canceling school. But it's almost like, I think people would laugh at us. Yeah. Like if you're from Washington State and you're like, you're canceling school because it's raining for 2 days.
Yeah.
I know. And we even had an email.
Well, it rains 3/5 of the year up there.
3/5. It's my new, I think I need to make a shirt that just says 3/5 on it. I love that so much. It'll just be our inside joke when I wear it around. And then it'll be a conversation starter. People are like, what does that mean? Oh, I don't know. Ask my friend Christopher because it's his fraction of choice. So ask him.
Just on this day of February 6th.
I think it's very, again, maybe other people use 3/5. I just do not. And so it came as a surprise to me. 3/5.
I don't know. It just came out.
3/4 of the year is kind of where I would have gone. 5/8 of the year.
5/8.
Oh like no one else is going to find this comical except for us. Sorry, friends. Sorry, Charna fans.
Okay. So I want to transition a little bit to talking about what to do on a rainy day.
Oh, okay.
Like what you might want to do on a rainy day.
I like that.
You could make a pillow fort.
Oh.
How do you feel about a pillow fort,
My
Charna?
kids, it's so interesting because our kids are in different, like, almost said genres. That's not the right word. Stages. Did you say stages at the same time as me?
Genres.
Yeah.
I am dead. Genre. They're in different genres. My kids are in the horror section while your kids are in the action section.
Sorry, stages. And so, like, forts are pretty few and far between now. However, when my kids were younger, forts were, and not usually pillow forts, it's blankets. So they will like attach them to our staircase and then like pull them out over the living room and make this they would have these complicated, crazy forts. That was a huge thing. And then they would go in it and they'd read or they'd like take their snacks in there.
Yeah.
I used to do that as a kid too. We'd do it on our bunk beds and we'd like put the blanket down in front of the bunk bed and like make a whole fort in there.
Yeah.
Even now, I think Ruby would definitely still be into it. I like it. Forts.
Yeah. Oh, I love this next thing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Bake something delicious.
100%. That's number one for me right there. Because
Yeah.
it's like the yummy warmness of it, right? Like, ooh, it's cold and blustery outside. I want to bake something yummy.
Yeah. Delicious.
I'm making meatloaf tonight.
Or
And that is exactly why, because I'm like, it's
You
a
are.
rainy day and meatloaf sounds right, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Or you could do like a nice hearty soup or something too.
I like it chili.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm hungry.
A chili for the chilly weather.
You're on fire today, Christopher. You're on fire.
Woo! 3/5 on fire. All right. Sit down, play some board games, some card games, make
Love
up a
that.
game. Who knows? You know?
I love that.
Yeah.
We're a
What
board
games do
game
you
family.
like in your household?
Oh my gosh. We have a ton. So one of our favorite go-tos.
Do you have like a top
3? Well, Mexican train dominoes is like one of our number ones.
I love that.
Love it, love it. And I love it because like anyone can play it and it's not difficult to understand. So if people are over and you're like, you know. Telestrations is another one with the kids that they absolutely love. And it's so funny. I love that game. And then recently we've gotten into Blank Slate. Have you heard of that one?
Mm-mm,
It's easy and fun, and you don't really have to like think about it. You can stop and start and go. It's really fun. The card game that Jerry and I will play with like adults is 5 Crowns. We love that game.
I don't know about
And
that.
it takes a long time. So it's like a fun game where you can like sit down and have some, you know, cocktails, snacks, sit, and like after the kids have gone to bed or whatever, it's really, really fun. 5 Crowns. If you've never played it.
All right. Well, we can
Get it.
talk about that later. Yeah. We like board games and stuff. Grayson's gotten more into board games lately. We got he loves Sequence, like a kid's version of Sequence.
Yes. Yeah. Is there a kid version?
There is, and it's really fun.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's got animals instead of
cute.
Yeah. And then another kid version of something we just got, which is great because I like the adult version as well, is Ticket to Ride. Do you know that game?
Oh, I don't know that one. No.
It's really fun. So you get like these routes you have to complete. So you get like a card that says you have to make a route from San Francisco to New York City. And then you have to like draw color cards and put trains, and you have to make your way across all these routes. And the first person
fun.
to like get a certain number of routes done or run out of trains or whatever ends the game, you know?
Ticket to Ride.
Yeah. Ticket to Ride. There's lots of
down.
different versions. But there's a kid version and it only takes like 15, 20 minutes, and Grayson is loving it. So I love that.
Love that.
Okay. Next on this list is something that I'm like, based on the rest of our talk so far, I'm not sure is a good choice, but hey, venture out of the house. Go to a museum or aquarium. You know, go do something that's like indoors but out of the house.
Movies. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends on what type of weather, right? Like if it's just a little rainy and you can't like, and I think too, we're so spoiled in Southern California and other parts of the country as well, but Southern California in particular. Like Jerry and I got talking about it with sports. Like some of these places, they can't, like we are constantly outside. They're throwing the football. They're playing in the driveway. They're playing like there are some places like in Michigan or Wisconsin where certain times of the year you're not doing nothing outside, right?
Yeah.
So I think
because you would die.
Yeah, exactly. So I think maybe in those instances, like you can't get out or whatever, we can still in the stormy weather here.
Yeah,
I like that museum or a movie.
Yeah, I do like an aquarium too.
I love it.
Maybe have a play date, and this can apply to kids or adults, right? Like just have a friend over.
Yeah.
Granted, one of you would have to venture out, but you know.
But you could do it.
Ooh, I like this one. This is something that is right up my alley. This is actually one of my favorite things to do on a rainy day is to like get ant. There's an ant crawling across my desk. Yeah. Bye, ant. So I like to like sit on the couch and get something delicious and warm to drink and then watch a movie or 5 movies.
I think that's like my favorite. If I like, if I had the top thing to do now, if it extends for a period of time, I can't do that all day long. As we know, I don't sit still very well. But that it would be like my first choice. If there's a day ahead of you that you're like, I didn't really need to get anything done, and what are we going to do? That's it. That's what. And that's why when we travel, when we go to Bryan Head, we go on the mountain, all day and maybe sledding. But then after that, there's nothing really for you to do, right? Because you're not at your own house. There's no chores. So like we'll sit and we'll just watch movies and
so fun.
Drink yummy snuggly drinks. I know.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
By the
fire. A couple more. We're not going to do all these. Yes, a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could make some arts and crafts or some science experiments,
Yes, arts and crafts for sure with kids, I think, is a big one.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
I'm going to skip a number of these, but my favorite is the last thing on this list. You probably would like it. Joy would like it. I'm like, I'll be watching my movies. You could clean.
Yes. Yes. But here's why. Okay. I just was talking to a girlfriend yesterday, and she's been so busy with work. And she has like a whole week off. And she said the same thing. She's like, I'm just looking forward to cleaning and making dinners. And I think sometimes at our age, and not everyone is the same, it actually feels good to have time to do that, right? Like,
yeah.
Even if you don't like cleaning, but I think because you're going to have to do it anyway. And when you finally just have the time to do it, it's like, oh, I'm not trying to squeeze this in or do it at 3 a.m. Like I have time to get it done. But I will tell you what happens with me. And this is where my brain is. We have a holiday weekend coming up. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
we do.
I am going to have days that I can clean things out. What's going to happen is I'm going to start cleaning things out, and it turns into like a 19-day clean out project.
Right.
So you got to be careful. You got to be careful of that. Like minimize.
Yeah. When you
Yeah. Yes. I know what you're going to say.
You open that can of worms.
It's not, So just little baby steps of cleaning.
Tiny
I would
steps.
love that. That might be my number 2.
There you go. I was like, don't make it your number cleaning. 1. Yeah.
No.
Or better yet, a movie, do some cleaning, watch another movie.
And then play a board game and then clean some more.
And then make dinner. Or just order dinner in.
Yeah. But then you're making somebody drive to you in the rain, Christopher.
That's true.
That's their job.
True.
That's
their job.
It's fine. They're fine.
You had one job.
Drive me my food. Drive me my food? No, that's not the sentence that we needed to
You know what? I'm going to tangent on that for a minute.
My
and
food
I should have gone in the last episode, but I just have to complain because it's happening to me right now. What is the Postal Service job?
Oh, to deliver your mail to you.
Like in a somewhat timely fashion as well, right?
Yeah.
Like that should be part of the equation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a package.
What's happening?
I ordered something off of eBay. And
I have a package. What show's that from?
I don't know. I don't know what show's that from.
What
show that's from?
Come on. Christopher.
She's
Smith.
mad. She mad.
I have a package. Legally Blonde.
I don't know. Well, see, here's the thing about Legally Blonde. I love Legally Blonde, but I've never done the show. So I've only seen it.
Let's put that on our short list. It's such a fun show. It's a big show, but it's really fun and funny. It's so funny.
I know.
So well written.
It is.
Yeah.
But I just don't know it like you know it is all I'm saying. So
okay, I just squirreled and took you down a route of non-post office. Go back to your post office.
That's okay. So I ordered this thing off of eBay, and it was supposed to get here by Friday, this last Friday, and then between Friday and Monday. And last Monday, it shipped out of Texas. And then it sat there in Texas for not 1, not 2, Not 3 or 4, but 5 days in Texas. Not moving, not doing anything. I'm
Wait,
like, what?
Why?
I don't know. Do I look like I work for the post office?
But it didn't say like delayed. Was it because of a storm or something? Or an Arctic freeze? Because I know that happens in Texas. That's where I was stuck in my Arctic freeze.
Oh man. But
I think too, you know, it's crazy with modern technology. Like in the olden days when I was a young kid, you couldn't track things, right? So if something didn't arrive, you were just like, it's in the Bermuda Triangle. Or I'll get it when I get it. Now you can see where it is and you're like, get my package to me. Why is it stuck there? I had the students the other day. We were talking about like tracking. Like I went into my social media class and I was observing the teacher and they were talking about like the ability to track things and this. So they're talking about watching your Amazon delivery and like, it's 3 stops away. It's 2 stops away. It's around the corner. Like the fact that people do that is so crazy that you have the ability to like literally babysit your package. It's like having a baby monitor on your package. Ooh, it's going through Fullerton. It's almost here. So funny.
Well, what's funny about that too?
So did
like
you ever get your package or not?
It's not here yet. It's not here yet. It says
maybe it wanted to stay in
that
Texas.
it is in. Well, it moved to Nashville on Friday.
From Texas? Why is it going backward?
That's what I said. I'm like, why are you going the wrong direction? Supposedly it's just in transit and it doesn't even say delayed. It's just what says will arrive later than we originally expected, but it is on its way. We promised. Which basically says, please don't call me. One job.
We're so spoiled though. We're so spoiled. Like
100%.
I get very frustrated when I'm specifically searched for something on Amazon that's going to come next day. And usually it's not even something for me. It's usually for school or something for work that I really need a prop, a costume, something. And then when it's like, will arrive in 4 days, I'm like, are you kidding me? But also then I stop and I'm like, Sharna, we're so spoiled with the immediacy of things, but also don't advertise it that way if it's not going to be that way. Yeah.
That's the thing.
I know.
Like
maybe it's the rain. Maybe they're having a rainstorm and they can't get it here. I don't know, but I'm mad about it.
So it's like the rain drain with the brain drain. Come on.
Hey, can I ask you something that you're talking about the mail? So it used to be, and I can remember this as a young kid, and even I'm talking when Sebastian was little, so maybe 10 years ago, the mail would come at the same time every day. Like my mailman, Sebastian used to love being outside. We'd be playing in the driveway and the mailman would come and we say hi to the mailman. Are you new? I'm going to get my mail. Now I see my mailman at 6 a.m. I see him at 10 p.m. I'm like, what are you doing at 10 p.m. delivering the mail? Like, what changed? What happened?
I have no idea. Our mailman
Does your mailman come at the same time every day?
Like within a couple hours. He'll usually be here somewhere between like 11 and 1. Grayson and Amelia, but specifically Grayson, love to wait for our mailman, Jose. And they have this whole thing that they do. And then Jose gave him...
I think that has to be fun as a mailman.
Yeah, I agree. And he even brought back, because he went on vacation to Mexico to visit his family. And he always brings back these particular gummy worms for himself. And he shared them with Grayson one day and gave Grayson and Amelia each a gummy worm. And then Grayson wanted gummy worms for Christmas. So we got some. And now for a while, he was like taking gummy worms out. Like he would bring Jose a gummy worm like every day. It was so cute.
To share with him.
Yeah.
That's very cute.
Yeah.
We've had so many different mailmans now, mail people, mail delivery persons. But for a while, it was the same one when Sebastian was little. And we used to, always say hi to them. And it was cute.
And Jose loves it. He just loves seeing the kids. And
yeah, I think that's cool. All right. What else? Is there anything else amazing on that list before we wrap it up? Of rainy day items?
So. I mean, read some books, paper airplanes, a stroll down memory lane. That's funny to me.
Is that what it says? A stroll down memory lane?
Look at old pictures
funny.
or watch home movies from when the kids were little. Spend the day reminiscing and talking about funny memories. I mean, yeah, I guess, but then that just seems depressing to me. Like it's raining outside and you're like, oh, time's gone by.
Oh, and I feel like we just do that intermittently, like randomly. We were just telling stories the other day about when the kids were little or when we were little and we were cracking up. Oh man. Like the story about when I was pregnant with Ruby and Sebastian wanted to name Ruby Habitat is one of my favorite stories in the entire world. Oh, did you just get
was that an emergency alert? I was like, what's happening?
I just got an emergency alert. A flash flood warning is in effect in this area. Do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing an area or subject to flooding. Wow.
Can we just talk about how like perfectly timed that emergency alert is for this episode?
Right?
Emergency. Yeah.
And if people are watching the video, you just see you. You're like,
yeah. Well, it's because I'm using my phone as my camera, and so I was like trying to like.
Did it start buzzing?
Yes.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I can't wait for you to go back and watch that. That's pretty hilarious. I already got one of those this morning. Did you?
No. Well, I don't know. I didn't notice.
Yeah, we had an emergency alert at like 8:15 this morning.
Oh.
Because the kids were asking about it. And then I just got another one. That's fine.
Well, the other funny thing with that is
we're all right.
Alexa, because we have like numerous Alexas in our house, and when they get notifications, they'll like glow orange. It'll do like an orange ring light. And
got it.
So the kids love to be like, oh, Alexa has an alert. Let's find out what it is. And lately, it's been so many things like, it's going to rain. It's going to be windy. It's going to flash flood. It's going to be, you know, weather. Heaven for like the fact that we need so many alerts for this thing is mind boggling to me. It's just indicative of people's
I will say though,
lack of common sense.
At least this is a real storm. Like the ones that kill me is when across the board, like news and the people that are they're like hunker down. And then it's like drizzle. Like this is, I think it is a pretty big storm. I mean, we're not experiencing a ton of flooding here where we are, but this rain is crazy for where we live.
It is. The other thing that cracks me up, I know we've gotten off on this is related. I like that I feel like we've invented new words like atmospheric river. Like what? I don't think I've heard that since like I think it started like last year. Oh no, that's what they call these weather systems now. And it's like this whole thing of like, I think it's the side of me that says, why are you sensationalizing everything? I feel like it's for headlines. It's like deadly atmospheric river moves in on Southern California. And it's like, what?
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Shut up.
Atmospheric river? How about just a rainstorm?
I'm going to look it up right now. What are atmospheric rivers?
So funny.
We're looking it up right now.
That is hilarious.
Atmospheric rivers are relatively long, narrow regions in the atmosphere, like rivers in the sky, that transport most of the water vapor outside of the tropics. While atmospheric rivers can vary greatly in size and strength, the average atmospheric river carries an amount of water vapor roughly equivalent to the average flow of water at the mouth of the Mississippi River. Exceptionally strong atmospheric rivers can transport up to 15 times that amount. And when the atmospheric rivers make landfall, they often release this water vapor in the form of rain or snow. Although atmospheric rivers come in many shapes and sizes, those that contain the largest amount of water vapor and the strongest winds can create extreme rainfall and floods, often by stalling over watersheds, vulnerable to flooding. These events can disrupt travel, induce mudslides, and cause catastrophic damage to life and property.
You sounded like Linus from Charlie Brown right then, like a little like encyclopedia. I love that. It's very cute. How come we've never heard of this before? Is this a new thing?
That's what I want to know. I don't know. That I don't know. I mean, it does look like I don't know whether it was probably always a thing. I don't know if it was always called that because I haven't heard that term until a year ago, personally.
Interesting. Well, we learned something today. That's great.
Yeah. Atmospheric rivers.
Well,
there's your
take
fact
care
of the
out
day.
there with the atmospheric rivers and flash flooding and Alexa warnings. Okay. Just
Yes.
stay calm. Stay calm and use common sense. Okay.
Yeah, please. Please. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for joining us on our rain journey today, Charna fans. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Charnopher Official. Check us out at uncommonpod.com if you want to get some merch or have any other questions about us. And on that note,
Charnopher out. Rain, rain, go away. I was trying to think of another rain song. Oh, Stranger to the Rain.
It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men.
Amen.
This concludes another episode of Uncommon Sense. If you're ready for more of this fresh, hilarious, and unique perspective on the world of entertainment, education, and life, be sure to subscribe right now to catch every episode. If you gasped, laughed out loud, or even snorted, share the show with your friends and aspiring entertainers because, let's be real, sharing is caring. For more Charnopher, tune in to their witty insights by checking out the website uncommonpod.com or connecting on social media. Tune in next week and get the real insider scoop on another episode of Uncommon Sense.
But also, Charna, I still think, but I also think you're still correct.